What's going on, boys and girls? Prime rib day. So I'm going to do it on the Santa Maria. I'm going to do it a little bit different, simply because I want to infuse a lot of flavor. I don't have a whole lot of time today. Got grills to do and stuff like that. So what I figured what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to poach some herbs and garlic in some oil and use that oil to make a nice wet rub. I got a nice prime rib in there, and it's been about 5 days open air, just a simple dry in the fridge. Just kind of turns that volume up a little bit on that beef flavor, and we'll coat it out with that, and we'll toss around the chud killer out there. So this is what we're doing. We're gonna move on over to here, just like so, something like that. We're gonna fire this guy up. We're gonna keep her like low, medium low, and then what we're gonna do is we're going to toss in, I don't know, about a good 3/4, maybe a cup. That should work. I'm using avocado oil. And then I'm going to toss in 5 cloves, garlic, chopped up. I chopped them up because I'll be using this right into the rub, so I don't want to have to deal with it later. And then I got some fresh top thyme, dill, and some nice flat leaf. So we're going to just let that go for a little bit. And then what else we're going to do here is I'm going to toss in about a tablespoon or so of some butter because it's prime rib. You know what I mean? Let me hack off this. Don't need much. We got the oil going in there, but we just want to get that nice butter flavor going in there as well. So that's all we're really going to do here. I'm just going to let that go. I don't know, maybe half hour or so. Just kind of poach everything in there, let everything soften up, let all them flavors just kind of infuse into that oil and turn it into something special. And then we'll add some seasoning and just make a nice wet rub out of it. And we'll coat our prime rib up. So, like I said, I'm going to let this go, medium low heat, just to kind of, poach essentially our garlic, herbs, get it all in there. All right, so let's build our dry base here for our wet rub. We're going to go with 3 tablespoons of salt. If you're not using a nice flake or anything coarse, I'd cut that down to about 2 tablespoons because you'll get you get more volume in a tablespoon when you're using the smaller salt. So same goes for the pepper. We're going to equal those two out. 3 tablespoons. Again, that's quarter crack. So if you're not using a nice coarse or anything like that, cut that down to about 2 tablespoons also. So then we're going to go some garlic in there, reinforce our natural garlic with some granulated here. I'm going to do 2 teaspoons. Two teaspoons of granulated onion. We're going to reinforce some of our herbs that we have in there. We're going to do 2 teaspoons of some oregano. We're going to do a teaspoon of thyme. A teaspoon of parsley. I'm not going to reinforce the dill. There's plenty of that in there. Celery seed for, some umami. We're just going to do a teaspoon. And a little cayenne, just to kick it up. Say about a half a teaspoon of that. You want some little, you know, you want it to smack your lips a little bit. I do anyway. Just like that. So get that cayenne in there first. And we're just going to toss this. Ooh, she smells good. So just like so. And then we'll add our poached oil in there. And ooh, she's going to make me sneeze. Oh, excuse me. We're going to toss that in there, mix it up, make a nice little paste, and we'll coat our rib roast with it. All right, guys. This is our prime rib. It's looking so fine. And what we're going to do is we're going to grab our poaching liquid here. I'm going to toss some in. Start with about half, just to make sure. So you want the right consistency on your wet rub. So get that mixed in. Definitely take some more. Man, might have actually worked out perfectly. I think I know what I'm doing here. Holy shit. Winging it. Man, it smells so good. Eat this with a spoon, man. That's perfect. Absolutely perfect. See the consistency we got here? You see that? Look at that. It's beautiful. Man, that's what I'm talking about. All right, we're just going to set him aside here. Let's take our roast. I'm going to separate these bones here. Right along that edge. Just to give us a little opening. Pack some flavor in there. Oh, help if I put them on right. All right, let's get to business. I got this on a tray with a rack. So first off, we're going to take some of this deliciousness, coat the inside here. Just like so. Keep that all in there. Beautiful. I'm going to start with this backside. Just going to spread this on. I am going to tie this, but I'm going to do it afterwards. So beautiful. Get a nice coat on there. So this stuff will set up then. And we'll be sitting real good. We'll just make a nice crust. All that flavor is just going to soak into that meat. The oil's still a little bit warm. It's going to open that meat up just a little bit and say, oh, hi, come on in. You smell good. A little bit of pressure. Just make we got a nice coat. I'm not going to worry about this bottom section here of the rib. You know, it's not going to make any difference. And then we'll get the fat cap. Get a nice coat on that. Beautiful. That's what I'm talking about. Just like that, guys. Damn. It's beautiful. Let's check it out. Like I said, all that oil and all that flavor is just going to kind of just sit in there. I'm going to put that in the fridge. We got just a little bit of our rub left, so we might give it a little sprinkle before we toss it on, or use some of that in our au jus. Since I'm doing it on the Santa Maria, I'm not going to be doing it in a pan. So, but I do want to catch some of the flavor. Now, typically, I would butcher it, and I would use the rib rack and things like that, and just make my juice separately. Using the cutoffs from the prime rib. But that's not how today's going. So we'll make it all right. But other than that, we'll be back. In the fridge, forgot to tell you, in the fridge, I'm going to let it sit for the day. Just let it rest in. So, all right, guys, let's light a fire. So, we're going to be, not even sure what I have. I don't think I have any ash in here. I might, who knows. But for this, we're going to fire up the Brazzaro just because we're going to be, I want that kind of a roasting effect. Plus, the cook's going to go for a little while because I'm going to take her nice and slow at the beginning. So I want to have a good bed of coal, that I can constantly work with. So I am going to use the coal sled today, just for less maintenance. Man, that's a big hornet, or wasp, or something. She's ugly, and I am going to, as opposed to just oak, just for the simple fact that I did not get started early enough, um, just to get a nice coal bed going right off the bat. So let's get her lit. All right, guys. So got a little bed of coal going down here. Got about a quarter of my halftime chimney going. Uh, got two nice dry splits. Getting that Brazzaro started. Get a nice roll in bed. Nice fire over there. I'll probably toss one more in. Let those guys burn down. Use the coal to drive some of the BTUs right off the bat. Probably throw a split on top of that. Just let that burn down shortly, and I'm going to keep the roast up pretty high just to start. I just want to just throw some smoke at it, throw some flavor at it. Let that thing come up to temp short. In time. And she's sitting on the counter right now. I pulled it out, so by the time this fire is ready to be used, it's probably going to be about 20-25 minutes or so. So it'll probably have rested on the counter, maybe 30-45 minutes, just depending, as long as I don't get sidetracked into doing whatever the hell. Um, and we're just going to slow roast that guy, man. Um, as the cook progresses, um, start bringing the grate down, start pulling some coals forward. And, by the time it's finished, we'll be close to it. Give it a little quick, sear on the outside, just depending on how it all turns out. We'll play it by ear when it gets to that point. Should have a nice crust on it. That wet rub, that oil, that butter, all that stuff is gonna, just make for a real nice crust on that roast. So, that's all we're doing. That's it. So we're just gonna let it go. We'll come back out here and we'll throw that meat on there. All right, guys. Got a nice burn going on in the Brazzero. Got a nice coal bed going on down here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to knock that coal bed down, and I'm going to toss actually, the little split that I have in there is still going to go. So I actually have this little guy right here too. I'll toss him in there for the mix. But I'm going to knock that coal bed down a little bit. Get our roast on. First, let's make our bed. Man, if you'd have told me when I was a kid I get to just play with fire all the time, I wouldn't have believed you, you know? All right, so now we got our coal bed down. I'm going to take this guy up just a little bit. Those flames should subside a little. And we're going to take this guy, put him center in the back there. We're going to let those bones heat up real good, and then I'm going to raise it up a little bit more, as well as, like I said, the flames will subside a little bit. Right now we have that bone plate underneath there. Membrane's still on it. The bones are there. That's only going to start giving us that good radiant and start just pushing all that flavor into that meat. So I don't mind throwing a little extra heat out of it right off the bat. And I'll push the coals a little bit just so they're kind of wrapped around the side. I want some at the bottom just for them drippings, just to come back up at the food. And I'll see how she's looking here in a minute when it comes to the fire, whether or not we want to, lift her up just a little bit more or not. And I'm going to not mess with the Bizarro's roast going back there, that fire, for a little bit anyway. I just want to make sure those logs are good and burning. And then I'll probably add one more split back there. And those 4 splits should actually probably take me right on through this whole cook with some coal to spare. So, because towards the end, the reason why I'm using the sled is I want to concentrate a lot of heat on the griddle because I'm going to do my oil bread on the griddle tonight. So instead of in the oven. So I figured might as well just start it right from the beginning right there. So that way, when you're trying to get a good concentrated burn on the griddle, that coal sled works great, man, because you get just a massive amount of oxygen. Now, typically, I'd rather just do it right on the fire brick because you get that nice radiant heat from the fire brick, and the coal just kind of seems to burn a lot longer. But, you know, like I said, I want to be able to quickly throw some serious heat at that griddle because it takes a minute for that thing to heat up. The 1/4 inch steel, it wants to fight you, but once she's hot, man. So, but like I said, we got some good flamage. Actually, I'm going to push that one just a little bit over, make ourselves a little concave going on here, just like so. Move this guy and push these back coals just in a little bit more. And we're going to roll it just like so. So now what we did there is, you can see I can't adjust my tripod anymore because it's broken, man. But we have a lot of the heat on one side, a lot more heat on this side over here, and we have our heat radiating from the Brazzaro in the back. So we're getting a really good roasting effect. So I'm just going to monitor the meat. I'll just rotate it. I'll spin it around. And that way she'll just be nice and even all the way around. And I'm just going to let her go. So I just wanted to bring you back here. It's been about, I don't know, 10 minutes or so. So I did, just to you kind of want to picture where your heat is coming from. I think that's really kind of the easiest way to cook on something like this, or any type of live fire situation. Hell, even on your charcoal grill, you know? Um, See, so what I've done here now is I need to go and take care of some stuff. So I need to be able to walk away. So what I did is I pulled the sled forward just a little bit for one. Now, if I didn't have the sled in there, I would just pull some of the coal forward. I still have some underneath the meat, of course. All them juices are dropping. You can see it. You can hear it. It's flaring up. It's cooking, man. It's throwing all that flavor back up. So then what I did is I added a split here to the front of the sled. So that way I have a concentration of heat towards the front of this roast as well. Because in here, it actually is going to roll, especially when I take the door and I close that and I have it kicked out. So I have oxygen coming in from the bottom and from the sides here. So now what that's gonna do is it's actually gonna throw heat towards the front of this roast right here. Like you can feel it, as well as everything else that goes on inside of this thing. Oh, I got you pointed down here, but everything's just kind of cycling through. So You hear that? That's all those juices just falling into that bed of coal down there. And then I brought my grate up just a little bit. So now we have heat source in the back of us roasting. We have a coal bed underneath us, adding that flavor. And then we have another split burning towards the front of that roast, adding another heat source. So we're coming at it from all directions. Even though we're in the wide open, we're still coming at it with all directions. And there is smoke everywhere. I mean, it's literally getting wrapped in smoke. It's blue, so it's hard to see, but if you look, you can see there's smoke rolling here, rolling from the back. There's smoke everywhere in there. So it's getting all that flavor. And you can see it's already snagging it, man. It's already picking it up. So whew, it's in my eyes too now. Ah! But it's just it's awesome, man. I so enjoy cooking like this just to, manipulate the fire and just cook some meat. Don't eat all that shit. Heat and meat, baby. Heat and meat. So I'm gonna let this go for a little bit. Once my split go burns down, I'm gonna just kind of just assess what's going on. I might bring it up just a little bit more. I don't want to take us too far from that source because in this thing with the lid, the higher I bring it up, I'm taking heat from the bottom, of course, but it's substantially hotter towards the upper portion of this grill because of the roll lid up here. So all that heat, I mean, of course, heat rises, everything just stays up here. And then it'll loop out, but it gets crazy hot up there. And I just kind of want to slow roast this for a little bit. That'll come into later play, So, but I'm gonna let this go probably for another about 10 minutes or so, and then I'll probably flip it. So, but I want to show you what's going on back here real quick. Just kind of give you guys an idea of what I'm aiming for here. So now you see back here all that smoke that's rolling. You can really see it without the sun shining. If you're coming in from the back here, I think you can. You can't see what the hell I'm pointing the camera, so I'm just gonna assume that I'm right. but but anyway, she's looking good, man. She's looking good. I have a feeling that's gonna be a killer prime rib, man. I mean, prime rib's prime rib. It's always killer. But with that poaching oil and the wet rub, and then there's the oak fire and the smoke, and I'm telling you, man, it's gonna be good. Damn good prime rib. So that's it. That's all I got. All right, guys. So I pulled the roast at 1:30 and let it rest. We had somebody over here and kind of messed everything up, so I didn't get to, you know, take it off the grill and all that other good stuff. But where's the entertainment in that? So anyway, here she is. This is what she turned into. She's looking mighty fine. Ooh, it's got a nice little crust on it. Move our bone rack out of there. Put that aside. Oh man, I'm gonna pull this heel right here because this is gonna be just some cuts and some extras, some good stuff. Oh man, look at all that juice. It's even in the heel of that thing, guys. And first cut, always my wife's because that's what I do. Holy hell. Second cut, the chef's cut. Trying to get down here even. There it is. Oh man. Damn. Check that out, guys. Here, I'm gonna bring you over here for this. Damn. Look at that. Check it out. Check it out. Oh shit. My tripod's such a piece of junk. One day I'll remember to get one. But until then, this is what we're dealing with. So I'm just gonna hold it like that. Check that out though. Oh man. Super good flavor. You know, that you can taste that oil right in there. I mean, I got a lot of the heel on that, so I know that that's there, but great flavor. Great flavor. So, excuse me. Oh, man. Went down the wrong pipe. All right, guys. So, that's it. Prime rib on the Santa Maria. Super easy. Super tasty, man. So, that's it. That's all I got. Later.